Hey, what's up, everybody? Hunter here. Welcome to another episode of Burning Gas. We're getting this one out a little late just due to some audio quality issues. We didn't have a mic in person, but we're worked through it, got a lot of stuff figured out. We're joined with TropoFarmer, VideogameFreak, and then two of my closest friends in person. We talk about entering the NFT space, being newcomers, and then kind of just understanding like what an NFT is, and as a newcomer, like what might you want to look for in this space. It's one of my favorite episodes so far, definitely worth some laughs, and I hope you guys enjoy. Catch you guys on the next one. All right, what's up, everybody? It's Hunter here. We're back with another episode of Burning Gas, joined with TropoFarmer. I'm really excited for this episode because it's been a weird week. Was in the woods for 3 days, shooting guns and fishing and just being in the woods. I have two people in the peanut gallery next to me who are new to the whole NFT crypto space. They seem to enjoy it, and there's a little bit of belief, a little bit of disbelief, and just.
Wait, hang on, a little bit. He was mocking NFTs right before we started recording. It was mockery.
You went on a solid like 30-45 second rant.
Yes, but somebody who's never heard this before, and then you hear this whole thing and you're like, and especially like you're older like me, I'm a little bit older, I'm in my upper 50s, and you hear this and you're like, I could copy and paste this stuff, so you're telling me that there's intrinsic value and there's intellectual property value, and you're going to somehow monetize this, there's a secondary market, and there's billions of dollars in it. It's hard to understand. I mean, it really is. I'm not being skeptical, but
I think that's fair though. Like, this is a huge like step forward for like the norm. It is crazy. Like,
wait, who are these people? Can you reveal your relationship to them?
They're friends. Wait, you said that like you didn't believe I had friends.
Well, I'm wondering why you have a friend who's in his upper 50s, or it's just.
Well, he likes to hang out with cool dudes, and I am somewhat cool.
He is cool. He's very cool.
It is true. I'm
married guy.
Hey, I'm almost 40, and I'm like
this is revealing a weird trend of me hanging out with like people who are several like much older than me. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm getting old.
What's your relationship with your dad like? I'm starting to think maybe things aren't great.
I have a good relationship with my dad.
Okay, I could just check in.
Oh God!
No, I heard him his father say "I love you," so he's got good.
He said it before. Yes, I think he's meant it too.
Yeah, I think he meant it. I heard it.
But Tropo, the discussion for the last 48 hours between me and my two friends here has been what does a newcomer buy? Like, what is at under 5 ETH? We'll set that as like the limit. What is a good purchase?
That's pretty high for a newcomer, I think.
Okay, but like even at this point, like even a squiggle starts at 6 ETH. Like things are getting crazy, and like the Pudgy Penguins are all over the news. They wanted to buy Pudgy Penguins last night. I told them not to. Now they're 3 ETH. Like, if we're getting to a point where the normal stuff that we've been trading for the last like 2 months is getting really expensive, and the stuff that is coming out now feels like really gambly. It's not like the Tom Sachs stuff that was like, hey, like you don't know what you're gonna get, but it's gonna be quality. It's a quality artist. The Damien Hirst stuff, quality. Like now it's like every day I wake up and it's like, okay, what derivative projects are coming out?
You could get a Hirst for 3.25.
Yeah, that actually is a good buy. I didn't think of that.
So I don't know. I don't think that's
HIRST.
You guys have the weirdest spellings.
But that's his name. Oh. He's an artist.
That's ridiculous.
Let's see. If you get a Hirst, you get 5 ETH. That leaves you about 1.5.
5 ETH,
including your gas.
No, I'm saying if you have 5 ETH to start, which is a lot, like that's a decent chunk of change.
Yeah.
I Hirst would be a good first purchase. And then in my opinion right now, I think Cool Cats are still like an appropriate, it's a quality project at an appropriate price.
You could get a Cool Cat and a Hirst for 5 ETH.
Looks like a day at a long.
Oh no, we had a barking dog. We had a barking dog. I muted.
They were very loud.
But he said Hirst looks like
Looks like I'm at a bingo parlor and I'm just using the dabber and I'm going dab 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 dab.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Look the same.
they do all look the same.
Like there's not like a variety. They're just like, what makes one better than the other?
The drip. One's got more drip.
Yeah, there's actual rarity traits for each of them that they used AI to actually count the number of dots, how much drip, the roughness of each dot, the colors of the dots.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they know. Like, look, go down to the properties.
Yeah.
Hang on. Hunter, do we
Stats.
know that this is like real? Did they like maybe they just did like a random value and they're like, no,
You know, it's funny you say that, and I actually went through and started like counting, and then I was like, this is stupid. Like, only an idiot would do this. And then
counting the dots.
I started to like count because there's one that I said it had only like 100 magenta or something. So I was like, I'm gonna count the magenta, and then it turned into like, where's Waldo, but just for polka dots.
Wait, is this one called Tears of Pain?
Yeah. So the unique thing for the Hirst is that each of them has their own unique title. So I think the title is more of a like, oh, that's a cool title. I like that.
I mean, I would describe the piece of art as Tears of Pain.
But here's the unique thing with these. When you buy this, you're going to have like a month and a half, maybe it's like a month now, to decide if you want the physical one. Damien Hirst will mail you the real physical painting that is done, or do you want the NFT, the digital version? So you have to choose between the two. And so remember how I was talking about the Punks comic today, burning those?
Right.
Well, you're either going to have to burn the physical. He'll light a match to your physical piece and destroy it, because
When you get the NFT.
when you get the
it's
NFT, that's the only version of that. Or if you want the physical, you have to burn and send that NFT to Never Everland. Gone.
How big are these paintings?
They're like, I think they're like 36 by 24. Inches?
They're hand painted. These are actually
They're-
acrylic painted.
Acrylic polka dotted.
Yeah,
By like
it's like
a
it's
real-
nice.
It started with
It's a nice
that. This is
piece.
me saying this is a digital piece of art with a bunch of polka dot. At least I know it's real art, and then turn into digital.
Whoa,
art.
you're saying something like art blocks is not real art, then is what you're saying.
I'm just saying these look all the exact same. It isn't art block, they look differently. Each one, they're unique.
I mean, these are all unique as well.
I know. I'm just, it's tough. It's tough on the naked eye to determine if they're different.
I think they're cool though, because they look very similar, but when you get into the details, they're vastly different. And it's kind of cool because everyone has the same piece with these consistencies to it, but yet they're all unique if you take the time to actually like dive deep into your piece.
Okay, Hirst floor at burn for the digital ones, I think is going to be over 6 ETH. I think that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah,
I can see it doubling from here.
it's cool. The titles though, they were actually trained on Hirst's like favorite song lyrics, so they trained
really?
the AI and then they use that to produce the titles.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So these are
And
like,
then he like,
go ahead.
well, they're not like actual lyrics, but they're based on his favorite lyrics.
Oh, so the one I got, you'll love this. Wait, you'll love this. I got number 1204. Oh, and I gotta look this up on the Discord because I'm not gonna be able to find this on my Henny. The title of mine is "Been Through Their Yarmulks." Yarmulks.
You mean yarmulkes?
But
Is that your version of yarmulke?
but apparently that is a different word for yarmulke. So mine is
Yarmulks?
"Been Through Their Yarmulks." Hey, look, that's the name of it. "Been Through Their Yarmulks." And then at one point, Tropo was playing Connect the Dots and drawing where the penis was in each of these because he thought there was one. He's deranged man.
I like that you called it Yarmulks.
Yarmulks. If it would have been yarmulkes, that'd been cool.
That's the word.
Wait, am I pronouncing that wrong? Is that how you spell yarmulkes? And I'm just pronouncing it wrong?
Yeah, I think so.
This is the word.
What's the
Yarmulks.
It's yarmulks. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that's Yarmulke.
Yeah, I'm the one who said yarmulke. You're laughing at me. I thought it was yarmulke.
Yeah, but a yarmulke is a yarmulke.
Wait, yarmulkes?
Yeah.
Oh, it is yarmulke.
Yeah, it is a yarmulke. That's what I'm saying.
You yarmulkes. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a yarmulke.
Interesting.
Okay,
You're not
well,
Jewish.
we solved that mystery.
Yeah, okay, I'm glad we could solve that one.
Got that one.
So okay, back to what we were talking about. Buy a Damien Hirst and buy a cool cat for 5 ETH.
Well, but don't you think too that you're being a little conservative because that's my first foray, and you're more apt to tell me like, yeah, these are established people, and the chances of losing your investment are far less than. But that doesn't mean it's not. There could be better ways to deploy my cash.
Oh, for a high return?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like
100%.
I think you're worried because like you don't want my experience to be negative and like, oh my God,
True.
Nothing.
But I also don't want you to go out and buy like super Yetis, which is like potentially just like lighting your cash on fire. Like,
It's
Well, I
worse
think
than
that's
that.
the hard part of this.
I could do worse than that. You're right.
I think this is the hard part about this is that there's so much material. You know what I mean? There's
Every
no
day,
lack of-
every day there is
day.
new.
Right. I don't know how much the development is of all these projects, but it seems like it's just like every day there's just more and more. So, you know, for somebody like me, it's like, okay, what you're like, okay, there's some established stuff. It has a track history, but maybe that's not going to be the best in the long run or that the best growth potential. And there's all this new stuff, and you know, it's really hard to sort through it. I mean, especially like somebody who just totally has no.
It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot happening.
There's a lot happening, and I think when you said we'll get a Hirst and something else, that was like you're actually saying, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good that it's going to be equal or better to what you pay, and you probably have upside potential, but it may not return because maybe they're too mature.
I think this.
Maybe it's too mature.
I don't think
It's
this
too
is mature. I think this is very young.
What is too mature? It's like something over 2 weeks. Like, it doesn't
CryptoPunks
sound-
to me, like in our market, CryptoPunks is mature, where it's gone from, you know, back in March when you could buy it for 15 ETH. Now it's at 40. Like that to me is very mature.
Okay, but you told me like some of these projects like are a week old and they're still selling for like less than an ETH.
Right.
And then, so is that indicative like maybe I don't want to be involved in because it's been out a week and it's not really moving that much and like
Not necessarily. Like it could just be slept on or you know, kind of unknown or just didn't get the attention
You know,
it
well,
deserves.
Damien Hirst are actually getting better the more I'm looking at them.
they're growing.
They're growing on me. At first,
No,
I was very skeptical, but you know what? The more I zoom in on this,
It's a detailed piece of art.
it is actually a decent place for, and I would
You,
actually like to see one of these in person.
If you get the digital version, like I've downloaded mine, you can go on the site and authenticate yourself
they're
as the owner of your piece, and you get like a 10 megabyte massive high res version of it, the
And
front
you-
and the back.
You can see every little drip speck on it.
And
like,
is it just a trust system that he burns the original,
yes.
or does he actually like send you a video?
I believe he's going to record it. He's talked about this.
There's gonna be a showing in London of I think of the burned ones, and then they're going
Banksy,
to
like watching
burn them.
Yeah, it's got Banksy vibes to it.
Okay.
There's even been like rumors that Banksy's put out NFTs. There was a guy who, so like the interesting thing with the Hirst pieces is Hirst doesn't actually do them himself. He has like workers, employees assistants that will help him do the polka dotting. Well, they do the polka dotting, but Banksy has the same thing. He doesn't do all of his work. He has people that are like part of his team that will go do his art for him, and then he signs his name essentially.
I mean, look, the bottom line is it's the art itself. It's like who created it, and you know, how many people hands were involved with it, I guess is almost irrelevant. I mean, other than the extent that his name is on the, you know,
Right.
ultimately on the end product.
Right. So your favorite project so far has been Pudgy Penguins that you've seen.
You know what? It just caught me. Like, I don't know. They looked inviting. You know, they were just, it's like half of the ones are scary. They got dreads. They got green faces. I mean, those just look like something that I could embrace, maybe because of my age group. And I say, look, can I monetize that into a cartoon? Could I turn it into, like, to me, I'm looking at like, how do you monetize? Like, and to me, those things say cartoon, kid show. I'm thinking like out of the box more, like that's why they hit me, because some of these I'm like, I don't think you can, like a guy smoking a joint and whatever. I don't see that's going to be a kid show.
Right.
But that I did see. So I'm thinking beyond paying for the thing, the rights to be able to sell it seem great to me. But my perspective is weird because
I think it's good. It's not a weird perspective. It's the typical perspective of most people who haven't been in here and, drank the Kool-Aid. Like, I don't know, Tropo, if you agree.
Yeah, I just sent you a cool cat that I think would be perfect for you. Hunter, I sent that to you.
On Discord?
Discord, yeah.
This is the cat he likes. It's funny. I like it.
That's the cat
I
for
love
you.
all the cats. I mean, I think the cats are cute. And there again, that they could be monetized.
Right.
Like there was nothing really about them that would be like, oh,
And I think
easy.
And I think the reason, like, I can see the cats going to double-digit ETH pricing is because, like, they have breeding coming out. The team behind it has had collaborations with, like, the biggest, like, the other projects that are huge, and they've just executed well. And I know, like, if I sat back and was like, okay, Cool Cats team has to, like, be able to survive the next 3 years, I wouldn't worry about it. The same way I wouldn't worry if Bored Ape Yacht Club or Punks, like, I know Larva Labs isn't going to implode. Like, whereas I look at the Penguins and I look at Cole Therium, who's the creator, and I've told you how I felt about Cole and how he's, navigated the space so far. And, like, that does worry me a little bit.
Yeah, well, you showed me that there was a whole website. They have like a blueprint, but in some ways, it seems super cool that they're that organized, but it also says to me like, well, they're going to be putting out a lot of these. So is it because I'm in early that I'm going to be better and that the other projects subsequently are going to be less because the originals, because if there's big roadmaps ahead, you're like, okay, well, maybe I should lay back. There's going to be a better project. There's going to be, so it's some confusing to me is like, okay, should you be in or should wait or?
Yeah, but I think like with punks and apes and probably cats, cool cats as well, like they're going to preserve that original release. And they're going to want to make the people that own those happy and make the people that don't want to own them. And I think they do that by providing more value to the owners and putting out things like roadmaps and collaborations. Like the president of Time today just announced that they're collabing with Cool Cats. I don't know if you saw that, Hunter.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're legitimate for sure. Like, I can easily see this being a cartoon next year.
Yeah,
I would be surprised if that didn't happen.
Series. There's utility to owning them with the breeding that they've talked about, and you don't know. Like, I can see them very easily partnering with like an animation studio and being like, "We're going to launch our own cartoon."
Yeah, no, and to me, I have an easier time making that purchase because I believe that they have the ability to do that, as opposed to just looking at it as a single NFT and saying, yeah, I have this image and
right.
How and why can I monetize it? And who, they seem like they're adding value by being organized and being, that other parts, like you've told me, like, well, that guy's a one-off guy. And this is just, and then how is it going to get monetized? And is it up to me? Is there people behind this image? So that makes sense to me now that we're talking about it a little bit better.
Yeah, but there's just so many projects at the same time. Like, I'm realizing now, Tropo, as like someone who's been in this, like playing catch up is a hard game. It's a very hard game.
Yeah, but there's so many people that are willing to help.
Right.
That especially now compared to even back in February, March. That's there's a lot that you missed out on, but I think you give it like a month.
What's taking your attention the most recently that you would want new people to be aware of? I guess that kind of answers the thing of like, there's just been so much.
I don't know.
Flash. There's been so much crap that it's like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I've been telling people to get Cool Cats for the last month. So,
I mean, even Farouk tweeted out, he was like, literally, and Farouk's a very prominent guy, has a big reputation to protect, saying like, okay, he believes in Cool Cat over everything right now from like a value perspective. I thought that was interesting to see him be that.
You know, when I spoke about getting Cool Cats, it was like 0.75.
Right.
It was like double that. And that floor is very thin.
That floor is thin. Yes.
It's a pretty thin floor up to like 1.75.
Yeah. Now to get some quality stuff, you're at 2 really instead of 1.5, which is like the technical floor. But we did buy 2 junkyard dogs.
Yeah.
We got Tro, I gotta send you the ones that we got. Or maybe,
I don't know about those.
That was purely like,
It was purely we had a few drinks and
We
my
had a
wife,
few
my wife
drinks.
said, that reminds me of you flipping me the bird. So it was kind of like drunken stupor purchases a little
All
bit.
right. I like these.
it vibes with him.
They vibe with us.
Which one?
They
We
bought the one with the
box.
halo. I bought the
Bought
one with
the
the
halo.
glowing eyes.
I think you need a Hawaiian shirt ape.
Hawaiian shirt bait. Yeah, I was trying to tell them, but like also 15 ETH is not cheap. Like we're talking about like 50K for an ape right now. It's a big first
Is that
purchase.
a lot? I mean, he's got the money, right?
I guess. I don't know.
You're good for it.
Oh, what am I gonna do? The same thing I did with Twin Flames and go halvesies with people and stuff now? Charity. Oh, so I did list our Twin Flames. Our Twin Flames is up at 120. I don't know if you see the floor there.
I did see it. Yeah,
it's gotten compacted.
it did. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I guess Justin is in. I think Justin's been really trying to get people to relist and put stuff up for sale. I don't know. It's been interesting to watch there. I was expecting it to keep going, but it looks like we just lost steam at 100. Nobody wanted to pay over that.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have to wait 2 months here until October when the next announcements come out and like the next events happen to see that appreciate past 120. But I have it up there. It's way off floor. If somebody buys it, great. I'll put in the rest of the money into fractional stuff and a punk probably.
Will you? Is that your plan?
That's my plan.
All right, I say it sells for 120. What's the breakdown? Where's that money going?
Oh, for me, so 60 of it. Okay, so 5% of it or 10% of it is going to Justin as a royalty. So we'll round down to 110. Half of that goes to you. So I give you 55. I'm stuck with 55. Take a third of taxes, probably.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Thank you, government.
Taxes are the worst part of the game.
I was explaining how taxes work today, and this is all being classified as capital gains tax, and
No matter what the holding period is.
no matter no, there is long term and short term.
I don't get the whole tax thing. That's a different story.
That's a deep dive. That's a deep dive. I honestly think I would start getting very aggressive on getting to a punk. I don't know if you saw the one morning mint, but the wild hair smiley mole.
I felt for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you think I have an emotional attachment to that mole, but I don't. I'm just putting that out there.
You clearly, you were emotional on that morning mint.
Oh, I wanted the smiley though. So it was the coolest smiley I thought I had seen. That was not 200 ETH. But
the other part about this so interesting is ETH movement. Like not only you have the NFT piece of it, but you got the ETH movement. So I mean, to me as an investor, I mean, you got like it's like hard enough to try to.
It's like 2 levels of movement,
right? And I'm like, well, how do you sort through that? Because you're buying on ETH, and ETH is moving, and what is it a direct correlation when the ETH moves, the NFT move? You know,
right?
Is it an inverse relation? I haven't really quite figured that piece of it out.
Hunter, would you ever get a woman punk?
I don't think I would, just because I would want to use as my profile. Nothing against women.
That's
Not-
very sexist.
Not to get with
Totally uncool. Very sexist.
Okay, so we just had this guy's name is VideogameFreak. He just joined. Good friend. He's funny. He's actually out in Arizona.
Oh, cool.
Hope he's staying cool.
He's a really cool guy. Yeah, what's up? I have two people next to me in physical person. VideogameFreak.
Oh, what's up?
What's up, VGF?
BGF. We're just talking about what we would, if we would get a, the current topic is, would you buy a female punk? Would you buy a female punk? I'll ask you the question. Mine was no, because I would use it as a profile photo.
Ooh, depends on which one though. I would rock a wild white hair, dude.
Oh, that's true. There's ones that have like wild white hair.
I would though. Yeah, I'd still rock it.
Does it Blau rock one? Blau?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blau.
Yeah.
You know who Blau is, right?
Yeah, I saw him at concert one time in college.
I mean, like, I think, dude, I mean, it really depends. I mean, I wouldn't rock a floor. Is that fair?
Would you rock
Right.
a stringy hair female?
Like, I'll pull one up for the peanut gallery here.
See, like, yeah, I mean, like an aviator, like a welding glasses, or
Would you rock?
a
Would you
tiara
buy
even.
this?
But like, I mean, you're talking so much ETH at
Come
that
on,
point
why
that like I'm already priced
But
out. So what am I
it's-
doing?
I mean, it's a CryptoPunk. You tell me these are like the cat's meow.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of
It's
the
not a cat.
It's not a cat, but
Is
you
that
tell me all these
appropriate?
things, you tell me I can't miss.
I don't think I honestly think if you bought a CryptoPunk, went to sleep for 12 months and woke up, you'd be like, hallelujah, 10x my money.
It would be a great investment.
Right. So I guess that's what my feeling was. I don't care what it is. as long
Yeah,
as I
but
can
see,
afford it.
I
But
whatever
to
I
rock
get
as your
for punk,
profile.
my punk is going to be like my personal brand. I'm not selling it. It'll be the thing I pass on to my kids. And like everybody is listening, they're like, well, wait, you're going to put 100K into it. You're like, it's not really an investment if you're never going to sell. Like you can't use it for anything. But like I told you, you can use like Aave or like these other platforms to get a loan against, like I can go buy a house with a loan against my punk. I'm expecting to be able to do that in 10 years.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that there
That's
are
crazy.
companies that are willing to leverage these things because they seem volatile to me. So it's hard. I mean, I'm sure it's at some basis level if they say, "Oh, we'll lend you 50% of the current market value." I mean, that
Sure,
these guys
yeah.
are, are these like real company, like major companies that I would recognize that would? do
No,
this
these are
lending?
all like decentralized, like I guess platforms. Or I mean, like they're companies,
I
but
would
they're
say big
platforms.
asterisk that you don't recognize yet.
right.
Are you
Right.
familiar with Wells Fargo?
Yeah,
Not them.
I think I've heard of those
That's a
boys.
smart ass question. It's a
Wells
real
Fargo.
smart
Are
ass
they
question.
from like Wells, like Fargo, North Dakota? Is that Wells Fargo you're referring to?
Now he's from the stagecoach dudes that
Wells Fargo?
and they have these orange and yellow banks, and they're really bad. And they do terrible lending practices. Generally, steal your money. But short of that, they're fine.
It's true.
I think they're aware. Yes.
Pretty unethical company, but yes, keep going.
Yeah, I don't think I would get a female punk either.
Wait, why did you
What does
ask?
that have to do? What does that have to do with Wells Fargo?
I think he works for Wells Fargo secretly, and they're yeah.
Oh, there's one that's 55 with a pipe and a mohawk. That's kind of cool looking. So I think it
Ooh,
was
that's a good-
VGF.
What does this have to do with Wells Fargo?
Wait, we're not letting you get off of it.
That's over. I'm
It's over.
I'm just staring at the punks right now.
Yeah,
Hated the
he smoked too much, or he took too much of his just medicine.
I took my normal dosage.
Yeah.
No, but they're CryptoPunk females, so why would there be an aversion to buy? That I'm not understanding. Why?
Well, so for like some people, they're
Well,
like, I want to have a
are-
CryptoPunk that looks like.
Are there
me,
more
or-
females or more female? Like, are there more females or males?
I think it's a pretty close 50-50.
I want to say there's more males, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, then that's the reason why to buy a female. Is that there's less females.
Less
I mean,
liquidity.
I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. I
think you're
forget
right. I'm gonna
what
check.
the distribution is.
What do you guys use? DGen data?
I'm using larvalabs.com.
Oh, that's smart. I don't. Yeah,
Okay,
There are
why'd you-
3,840 females.
so there's 38% are female.
Okay, well that's a significantly less than 50.
Yeah,
But they're less desirable.
because
Maybe now.
I think
there's
because the
less
demographic
males
is
in
mostly
crypto, like-
white males also
so
buying.
well,
these.
let's get to the real bottom of the thing. So you're saying this whole market is driven by white males between the ages of what? I want to know to who is because there's billions of dollars right. I want to know what the demographic is of the people who are in this NFT market.
I would say that like maybe very early on that may have been the case, maybe even up until like a few months ago. I would be very curious to see like what that evolution has been. That's not even like available data though, but like
there's no data on it. But my assumption is currently that it is mostly male buyers right now.
my presumption is it would be mostly North American and European buyers.
Right.
With that being said, like, you know, predominantly white males and like people of privilege, you know, one having access to the internet, Web3, higher education, like, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of like institutionally privileged as it is, but that will definitely change in the very near future.
Yeah, I think considering like what that breakdown likely was with just cryptocurrency,
just
and how
crypto
it's
in
different.
general translating into
NFT. But now with NFTs being like, you know, you bring in the artistic aspect of it, I think you open that up for sure to a much wider demographic that's interested and capable of succeeding in the market.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but the amount of disposable income here is hard to comprehend. That there's this much action for this much money.
Well, I think people are looking at this as an alternative investment, just like
up until like 8 months ago, no one cared.
Yeah,
this is true. Like nobody give a shit about a CryptoPunk.
Right, but even 8 months ago, weren't CryptoPunks still like $50,000?
No, not even close.
Nope.
I mean, maybe not like good ones.
A good one, maybe like an alien.
Literally 12. Like
I guess to me, it still was a lot of money.
Let me ask you this: what can you quantify a day when like the NFTs like became a market? Like I know it's developed, but like, can you go back to a date and say on January 15th of
that's pretty close.
Whatever.
Is it fair for me to say when Gary Vee started talking about it?
No, I mean the Nifty Gateway was a big one, and then Beeple's $69 million sale was huge.
There's events. There's like all events around a time where it started gaining attention. People started looking into
February, March. Yeah, Top Shot was a big one.
Started making money.
Like February to April of this year, there was like a chain of events between like Top Shot, Nifty Gateway, Beeple's sale, and like Gary, like all of that sort of cumulatively. I wouldn't necessarily like, you might be able to go back and see that there was like a day that was like just a skyrocket in adoption, but
I think it's hard to look at those charts with the volume that we've had the last 2 weeks.
I would say as far as media coverage goes, Beeple's sale was definitely like the onboard for like all creatives, collectors.
I mean, the Beeple, who is a guy who made a piece of artwork every single day for 13 years or 5 years? 5 years. I can't remember.
I think he's
like
done
13?
it for much longer. That was just his first 5,000 every day.
Right. It was his 5,000 pieces of art stitched into one image. He sold it for $70 million. And so everybody sat back and went, holy crap, this guy just sold an NFT for $70 million. What's an NFT? I need to learn what this is, because if he can make $70 million, I want to learn how I can make $70 million. And then everybody started doing research. Like that was a big onboarding event for me.
Right, but I guess from my perspective, like, what's going to bring it full circle? Like, is it like, obviously it's a developing super blow up kind of thing going on right now, but like, what event is going to make it mainstream? Is it going to be
it's like DraftKings launched today? Like DraftKings, you can buy Tom Brady autograph cards through DraftKings. They have their own marketplace.
It's not like, well, so like I look at gaming as the next big one. Most likely, even if there's another big onboarding event, like gaming going blockchain backed, like think metaphorically speaking, Fortnite or Roblox goes blockchain backed and they flip that metaphorical switch. That is going to be like an onboarding event like we can't even like fathom.
we've never seen before. So like when their everyday lives are introduced to this is NFTs, this is the blockchain, they start to touch and feel it like you are right now. Like,
But I think there's a couple different uses of, I mean, of course, there's different uses of the blockchain and NFTs.
right.
I think we've been looking at it from a art and collector's perspective, but there's a utilitarian perspective,
Right. Ticketing.
right? That we're not talking about. Like it's not like all NFTs are going to be investment grade.
But I
Right.
don't think that those are necessarily the same kind of adoption cases. Like, yes, as far as technologically speaking, but like I think those are sort of events or like transitions where people will be participating or interacting with NFTs without even knowing that they're NFTs. It's just like, this is my ticket and this wallet is how I show you I have it.
Sure. But I still think like having the ability to buy a ticket to like a Ravens football game and then be like, that's the game that, you know, Lamar ran 800 yards for 4 touchdowns, and like say like prove it that you own that ticket, and then people bid and buy that ticket for you just to have like a piece of the memorabilia. That's a potential where like we start to see like onboarding, because now you know you're interacting with something, but it's also like the infrastructure for how you know everyday events are now done, I guess. I don't know. I think just it flowing into our everyday lives and wherever it flows next is going to just slowly creep the
Right, but the thing you always tell me is it's decentralized, but then to me, if it's going to be more mainstream, it's going to have to be more centralized, don't you think? Don't you think, or you think it can work in this kind of?
I think there's going to be like some projects or like some use cases that are centralized, but there's still going to be like heavy like use cases for having decentralized where
Or just
nobody.
I mean, even if you just compare like the adoption of like custodial versus non-custodial wallets, like
Sure.
the learning curve for a non-custodial wallet is so much higher, because that's like the whole you're becoming your own bank sort of thing. But like you can download Coinbase and you're set.
So he's talking about like having a MetaMask versus just going on Coinbase and saying buy $5.
Buy crypto. Yeah.
Like you understand, like getting that MetaMask was not, oh, just right click, done.
No.
There was a process, there was a learning curve. You had to understand what like signing a seed phrase was. Coinbase, you just, this is my name, this is where I live, done.
Yeah, the whole MetaMask thing's ridiculous and crazy.
It's like KYC, you're good.
KYs, know your customer.
Just know your password.
Know your password. But like, to be honest, like we're still in the very early stages when we think about it. Like,
Right.
this hasn't even, I think CryptoPunks still now in a year we'll look back and be like, we were so early. We had no idea what was coming.
Right, because he's basically saying like 4 months ago, there was no market. I mean, not there wasn't no market, but it was much different market than
Right.
just the market we're talking about today.
Correct.
Well,
So,
so I mean, even look at like it was funny because we looked up, there was only 100 or less than 1 million total wallets that contain an ERC 721.
So
And
it's a
so
type
when you
of
factor in like multiple wallets and lost wallets and everything else, like that's such a microscopic percentage of people, even in crypto, let alone the total population.
Right. If you look at like the population of the world and then the percentage of that population that knows about crypto, and then the percentage of that population that knows about NFT, like to the average even crypto person, they're like, what's an NFT? I've heard about it, but I don't know what it is.
right, right.
Or what's a punk?
Right.
So like you're like technically at the forefront of a breaking technology right now. Even though it might not feel like it, you are way ahead of some of the
99.5%, yeah, 0.95% of the population.
Right. I think that like I saw the number floating around that was like around 1% of the world right now, or like 1% of the 25% of people that understand crypto know about NFTs. So you're way ahead.
Right. I mean, I don't feel that way because I'm I didn't know about this till 3 days ago on a bus trip with you.
Right.
Hey, bus gang.
Yeah, you're busted.
The bus gang.
Oh God.
Is that giving away anything?
The bus gang was a great story. They're on a that was wild.
Bust out.
Bust out. No, we were gonna pull all our money together and just buy a CryptoPunk, but I guess
What
not.
happened? What happened, dude?
We looked at some people looked at the prices, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, but especially as you told me 3 weeks ago when you were in my house, you said, "Oh, you got to buy a CryptoPunk," and they were half of what they are today. And I'm like, "That's a 3-week."
When I came over here like a month ago, they were $30,000. So I said you should buy one.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, it's hard to come back to me 3 weeks later and say, "Oh, yeah, you still need to buy one, but they're going to be 100,000." I'm like,
Well, so it all depends on your like time frame too, though. Like if you're thinking like trying to make a flip in, a week, that might not be super realistic for a lot of people. But if you're looking at a long time horizon, like it's almost inevitable.
Yeah.
Like there will be recoils, there will be recorrections, there's volatility and all that stuff. But like CryptoPunks are the gold standard. Like
Yeah, if you're thinking like 15, like shit, even 5 years, not let alone 20
fuck, a
years.
year,
Yeah.
like 6 months to a year out. But I'm saying like if you're looking at short term, like that, it's like investing in any crypto right now. It's like as soon as I finally convinced my parents last year to like get some exposure to crypto, all of a sudden my mom's texting me anytime the market takes a dip, and I'm like, stop looking at it. Like thank me in a couple of years. Like you're fine. Stop texting me anytime you see a news article about like, oh, crypto's in the all going to zero. It's like, you're fine.
Is your dad still out trading you on NFTs?
Don't rub it in.
no, I'm just saying when you see a run up like that, you're like, okay, is this like, and because it's so new, you really don't like, in the stock market, the broker always sits down and says, you know what, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have down, but when it's all said and done, you're going to be up 8% and
right, but that's a historic.
Have you shown him the like?
Right, it's a mature market. It's a mature market.
Right.
When somebody like me going into, we're like, okay, well, I saw this huge
mature markets. There's like there's profile picture projects that are up like 25,000% daily volume, and like like what's a market? Like this is just
some of this is casino.
Yeah, they say it very much, very much.
Most of it.
But I'm saying like if you look at a project, and that's why I'm looking at like Cool Cats, Punks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, me, like things that we know are not like all right.
No, and that's why I make that differentiation, because like there's some ones like you look at art blocks as a whole, or like blue chip artists and stuff like that, and it's almost done deal, seal it, it's going to go up.
Right.
But like there's so much of it that's just gambling, speculation and stuff like that too, that like you got to kind of make that differentiation. It's like anything I'm collecting for me is like the selfish collector in me is like vibe check. Do I like it? Yes. Can I afford it? Awesome. Cop. But then like anything that I'm trying to speculate on, it's like, okay, what's the market look like? What's the user base to collector rate, or like the supply ratio? What's the transaction volume? What's the Discord and Twitter look like? What's the, like all the way down the rabbit hole.
Right. There's a lot of research that goes into it.
Versus
I would say
do I like it? Yes.
High, super insane return. If you were like looking like to absolutely maximize, you do need to do that like crazy amount of research. And like
do it responsibly. But you can just totally ape into any of these projects and have just shit pop off.
I'll ape your money.
It almost seems like, like the way you were kind of portraying, there's so much, like you gave me this feeling of hype, like you just buy anything because there's just so much hype in the market. It doesn't even have to be a good project just because it's new.
A week like a couple weeks ago, yes, that was true. Like you could put money anywhere and it would be up. A week ago, yes. If you put money anywhere a week ago, you were up. Today, looking at the market, it just feels like there's very clear winners that are being defined, and the ones that aren't floating as fast, it's like, I don't know if I would make that like, oh, they're a laggard anymore. It seems like it's almost like, well, the market's rising, it's not rising with you, and there's a reason for that because
Okay, let's maybe let's reframe that though. Like, I would still say it's that way. It's just not every project. Like, if you had $100,000 and you could throw 10 mints at every project that was minted, I still think you'd be up.
sure, yeah, same.
But like, that's if you have a pool of capital enough to diversify your spread on enough projects that you're going to get 100x on, you know, one or two of them.
Right, because that's what some of these people do. They'll take $100,000
And
spread it like bird feed, and they'll be like, all right, I'm gonna have 100x winner, a couple 50xers, a couple 10, a couple 5, a couple 3, and then 20% of that's gonna go to zero.
And then, and you hedge your bets on anything that starts to tank. You take your, 50% hit on, and you're still not, liquidated, but at the same time, you get out before it's totally dead.
Right.
Well, in this world, it's moving so fast. Like, how quickly do you know you got a tank? I mean, is it like weeks, days, months?
I mean, it could be practically instantly. I mean, some of them, if the wrong people, like there was a project the other week that like had it come out that like the basically the whole project was a rug pull, and it went from like a point 4 floor to like 0.01 practically instantly, like live as they're doing like this.
And it turned out that the project, which had been said to have been run by like 3 women, turned out to be like 3 Russian dudes in Russia who were running the project. And it was like a female it was like a project promoting like identity and stuff.
Yeah, they were like, we didn't see that there was anything wrong with impersonating a bunch of Asian females. Like, we thought that was fine.
Yeah. And that's, I think, like, do your research, understand what you're getting into. Do you believe like the people wait, on that like, topic, not to steer off this, but like, Trope, are you still holding your like 4 ETH bag of those?
Oh yeah.
Well, and this is like so like
it's good now, dude.
It's like this. You would hope that they have some like roadmap, some runway to be able to like try and recoup some of that. Like, right. Granted, it's almost tainted, right? Like you almost can't. It won't like balloon like anything else. Has the possibility to, but you could still provide enough long-term value and utility on the back end to get some of that back.
Yeah, it's been fully transitioned to Board Becky and I believe ArcCheck and their team. So
yeah, they like totally took it over or something, right?
Yeah, they've got the contract, they've got the code, they've got the server, they've got the wallet, like everything has been transitioned. So it's in a good spot right now. Like,
I did hear something about that.
They seem very dedicated to it, and I don't know. It would be dumb to sell now, of course, because like
right, don't sell at the bottom. Like, yes, if you've held this long,
it
it's
has
like,
dumped.
Take the hit on the chin and just wait it out. Like, there's a project called, it was like the Wizards Cult. I minted them for 0.07 a piece, and I mean on instantaneous mint, like 20 minutes later, the one 2 of the ones I minted 3. One I sold for 0.1, and then the other 2 were worth like 0.05. And I've held ever since. And now today, like 2 months later, they're worth 0.2. But I had to wait 2 months to see a 4x return.
Okay, you want to hear mine?
Yes.
You got the crypto baby punks?
Oh yeah.
Just sitting on my diamond hands for 4 months to finally have my thesis play out.
How is that?
Like, I could have been flipping for, the lottery this whole freaking time, but like I didn't have the capital to diversify across all these projects. So I went high conviction, like, basically at one point, like more than 90% of my portfolio worth was in this one project.
You put like an ETH into it, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
And now they're worth per piece, like they were originally like 0.1, 0.05.
So like right after the mint and like a bunch of people, like kind of big names popped in, it got up to like a 0.7, 0.8 like floor. and then it totally crashed. It went all the way down to like a 0.2 floor.
Right.
And then like over the last couple months, community engagement, community developed projects, like all this stuff kind of building our own value. It's up to 1.3 floor, with many of mine in the 2 to 4 ETH range.
Right.
So like,
if you're gonna buy something like that, you just have to have conviction, understand what's coming, and wait it out, and not be like, okay, it didn't go up, I'm waiting.
well, yeah, and like the economics made sense, right? Like it was such a low supply project that I could add value to, that I could put my skill set to build my own value within that community, a talented collector base that was high conviction.
It's more than
like,
just looking and saying, I like the art. It's
Yeah,
gonna go up.
my whole thesis ran much deeper than like, I'm gonna throw my only ETH at this.
Right. And like I've made a couple of purchases lately that have been like, I just like the art. I hope it goes up.
Oh yeah, no, I've made a couple of those now that I like had a little more to play with, right?
Right. The one that I'll note, I think is gonna blow up the most is the the erotic art that Tropo bought me.
Dude, erotic sensual art is.
I honestly think that's a 100 bagger. I think that's worth 100x what we paid for it.
Oh, well, and like, dude, anything generative art on Hen is so
anything. I think Hen is probably, if I were to have 1000x return, it's gonna come from Hen. When Hen comes to OpenSea, and when everybody goes, holy crap, all this stuff was out there, we just didn't buy it, and it just comes into the spotlight, and it's like I put $1,000 in, and now it's worth 100,000, or it's worth 150,000.
Oh man, I'm in the money then. I am in the. I've got about 850 pieces from Hen.
You have 850. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot.
That's conviction.
I mean, that's conviction. Wow, that's insane, actually.
I want to go with your friends to the craps table. They seem like good people to hang out with.
I got no money. I just so I started with $500, and then
So his goal was to start with $500 and turn that $500 into a trip to Disney for his family. That was the whole reason he got in. Well, not the whole reason, but it was a driving component to why you got.
It was the monetary goal. Like I wanted to have a monetary goal, kind of an educational improvement goal, and then a career goal. So those are my 3 different goals. And that was the monetary
Disney
one.
trip upgraded from the Art of Animation Hotel to maybe the Contemporary or the.
Oh, we found our Disney guy.
No, I think we're staying at the. Fuck, I don't. My wife booked it. I can't remember, but like, yeah, my kids are too young to really give a shit about the hotel. Yeah, when I was like actually. When I was able to be profitable with something on Ethereum, I would take the profits and just buy art on Hen. So that's how I was accumulating so much.
That's basically been my jam as well, or flipping, like insta-minting low supply, flipping for like an easy, 3 to 5, sometimes 10x at the floor, and then using it to buy better, more expensive pieces.
I think I've sold literally like 3 things on Hen.
Well, so I should preface that with like a good majority of my buys initially were off like Hen 1000, Hen 666, like it was all these like high supply. So I'm reselling at floor, but it was still like a 3 to 5x. And so like it was just no brainer to me. Like I threw like 100 TES at like Hen 1000 or something.
Right.
Interesting. And yeah, I mean, and now it's like, now I can actually go through and look for like art I want to buy. If I had like, I might seriously take like an ETH and just throw it at TES.
Yeah, you'll get so much out of that ETH. Much.
I have a couple that I'm eyeing right now. Like they're going to cost me like 300 TES a piece, but like golden.
That's not like, it seems like a lot for him, but
It
it's
sounds like a lot, right?
it's so not.
But you're like, yeah, that's like 0.3 ETH, like whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good strategy. So I do want to like this is probably gonna be a shorter show. The one thing I do want to note, if there's any topics you want to talk about, bring them up. If you have any questions, good time to ask them. But we'll wrap today's show up with a look at the bottom of the marketplace. We'll all go to OpenSea and find the cheapest shit that's on there and see if there's any good buys. And I was just looking, and the project that I've fallen so much in love with, I Am Stronger Than You, still sitting at the floor of OpenSea for $0.
This has been a trend. You just
It's been a trend, and I think today's the day I finally buy one, just because. I mean, why not?
If you make $1 on this shit, I'd be so impressed.
I'll make a bet right now. I can flip one of these for $1.
No, that's bullshit. You're just gonna like list it, and then you're gonna make a post being like, somebody buy this. I bet my friend that I couldn't sell for
It'd still work.
All right,
Somebody would like it. Somebody would like it enough to spend the dollar plus gas.
plus $30.
Plus $30 in gas. Wait, I'm curious. Is there any for sale on these that I Am Stronger Than You, the floor?
What are you filtering? Buy now.
Buy now.
Oh,
See if there's any of these for buy now. Let's see. I don't think there's any of these birds for sale. Oh no. I Am
Back
Stronger
to the
Than
birds. You like the birds.
I like the birds. There's Harambe. I Am Stronger Than You. I'd love to Google reverse search these and know if these are just on Google.
We should have a whole show about like how to do proper due diligence and reverse image search. I just want to like pay a developer to make a tool that's like all in one image scan, compare, like give you a percentage of like likelihood that it's been pirated.
Yeah, so I went to I Am Stronger Than You, number 900. It's one of a gorilla. Right clicked, search Google for image. I got, let's see, results. I got well into the thousands for this image. I mean, it's used everywhere. It's probably the most. I mean, I easily 10,000 results for this. The same image used everywhere.
Well, so I wonder if it's open then, like.
To be able to correct loyalties.
You're saying it's not even a real.
It's either an open source or they're just illegally using this image. So I'm not going to waste $3.98 on Am Stronger
Plus gas.
Plus gas, which would be, I'm curious, by now, OpenSea confidence score of 3. I have reviewed this information. Let's see here. If I hit checkout, it's going to ask me to sign, right? I'm not going to actually buy it.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You should make him buy it. Just fuck with him.
He's like, oh my God, we finally sold one.
Invalid JSON. Okay, and we crashed the site.
OpenSea's been sketch. It's been so like spotty.
Yeah, so to buy this, it's $3.98. I have to pay $27 in gas fees.
What?
Even though it's like free?
Even though it's essentially free, I have to pay the gas fees because I don't know what gas is now, but it must be expensive.
No, it's not really, is the sad part. What's like probably I haven't seen it hasn't dropped down to like that nice 20-30 range lately.
It is a little expensive, right? Oh no, we're in the 30s. That's where we're at. Fast
is
as
it
40.
really?
Yeah, fast as 40.
There's no hybrid option.
Hybrid?
Yeah, gas. One can't go.
Oh,
electric.
Jesus, that was.
It's like you don't got the E85, whatever.
That's such a dad joke.
Yeah, you're showing your age, and you're a lot younger than me. Terrible joke.
That's a terrible joke.
It was terrible.
Fuck you all.
Hey, let's keep this.
There's children that watch this show.
Children
and their parents clearly don't know about it.
Yeah,
so
did I just flag you for some sort of YouTube? Are they gonna make these kids sign in now because I dropped the F-bomb?
I bet you YouTube to text that 100%.
You have to make you sign in. I just ruined your SEO.
Yeah, my SEO is destroyed because of that.
I'm sorry.
You're not popping up on the YouTube Kids channel anymore.
Nope. I'm demonetized, banned. SEO's ruined. Do you have any these are two of probably like the highest held like consultants in the NFT space.
I mean, to me, for me,
guys.
I think I'm more interested in just following a little bit, just to see the growth.
Just to
and
see
how-
watch.
I mean, it's a little cumbersome the way Holden had to get the certain account, then he had to get a Bitcoin, and like for me, it's like it's a little cumbersome just getting in, but obviously.
Did you buy Bitcoin?
Do it what?
Did you say you bought Bitcoin?
No. Ethereum.
No,
All right,
Ethereum.
all right,
Meant
good.
to say
Okay,
Ethereum.
okay, cool.
Ethereum. Sorry.
He's just clarifying before he grills you.
Yeah. I mean, look, to me, I'd like to follow it a little more. It's fascinating. It seems like it's evolving. It sounds like it's really on the move, and I've just never really seen something like this or been like in like the initial stages of something like this. So it's really hard to grasp it a little bit. And
Yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah, and then
I mean, we're in this shit every day, like 12 to 16 hours every day, and we're still like just mind blown by how much there is to learn.
It's still hard to keep up, even when you're fully
Hunter tells me about
fully submerged
sushi.
in it.
And then I told them about sushi, and we got
Sushi.
into DeFi, and then they were like, Jesus, Hunter.
To
Yeah,
me,
like, I mean, today
whatever
I was
the funnier
laughing.
the cryptocurrency.
Did you see
better
Farouk's
it's-
tweet?
No, that's actually, you know what? That's probably the highest IQ thing that's been discussed this entire show. What was your quote there?
The funnier the cryptocurrency name is, the better it's probably going to do.
Oh yeah, have you seen Ass and Titties?
I have, but I haven't seen the currency.
I had ass coin for a while. It did well
Yeah,
for me.
ass and titty coin. Just total memes, like absolutely no utility at all, just memed to the moon. And then like they were like, oh shit, this thing's worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. We should probably do something with it.
But sushi has utility. It sounds funny.
Sushi's
but it has
awesome.
utility.
Sushi's epic. But like, so like I was laughing with Farouk because he posted a screenshot of like his financial manager saying like,
Yeah, that was
you know
awesome.
that it just because you're making money doesn't mean it's the right place to put your money. And he just like face palm emojied like his financial consultant. He was like, deep down, I'm right. And Farouk was like, no, not at all. And he was like, fine, learn the hard way when you want to buy a house, but you can't get a mortgage because banks don't recognize your NFT collection as collateral.
Especially when you
And I
go
was-
to Fargo.
And so I responded, I was like, well, here you won't need a bank because you can use DeFi to collateralize your NFTs for stablecoin loans and then buy the house without a need for a mortgage. Win. Like
Yep.
financial like manager, not gonna make it.
It's crazy though, like because we were talking about like collateralized loans. Then what are stable coins? How does a stable coin link to a dollar? Then like how are NFTs linked to like the fluctuation of ETH? And then how do gas fees and proof of stake like come into this? And what is London hard fork? And then we got into like the different blockchains. And then why are some like projects better than others? And then like what is ERC 721 versus 1151? Like, and it's been not exhausting. That's not the word, but it's like, holy shit.
Thorough.
Intellectually
Like
elastic. Yeah, like you really
so
have
much
to.
you have to understand in this space, in which I turn back and like I had the pleasure of
No, you
talking to
don't.
like one of the most prominent people in the space this morning and like about the consulting media company that we're planning to start. And it was like, we had a question of, okay, if you were going to launch a POAP for like program with, let's say, Porsche or another prominent brand, like how would you do that? And to actually do that like that exercise of how would you launch X project with X brand is, when you actually get down to it, probably one of the hardest thought processes you can go through. Because if you're not just going to go and listen on OpenSea, there is so much you need to understand. And there's so many little nuances that you need to understand, because now you're involving like a corporation that needs to actually get USD out because it's to their bottom line. They have to pay people, or if they don't, they have to be able to sit on a cryptocurrency on the books. But most investors don't want that because it's not, sometimes it's not seen as a liquid asset. So it becomes this like 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional discussion of how do you interact with these companies and start these things. And then you think, okay, how do I explain this to somebody who's never
And have it actually fit the market.
exactly.
and have it so that people actually participate or buy what you're trying to sell.
Exactly. Because imagine Doritos spending $10 million to launch a project that's like every bag you get an NFT, but then nobody claims it and it earns them no money and it's a flop. Like it's like marketing on top of cutting edge technology on top of it's insane. There's so much happening right now.
Or you could just buy penguins.
Or you can buy pengus
Yeah.
and just get memes.
And
to
just
them.
and don't know nothing about anything else and do better.
And it's like, dude. Well, but the other side of that being that you could get freaking wrecked.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
True.
I won't say their name. There was another project that was, unfortunately, the naive / ignorant buyers bought into a project that was memed and hyped that they did not know that the artwork was stolen. And unfortunately, when they got DMCA'd, they got 404'd on all of like delisted off OpenSea and like all this stuff. And I mean, they basically got screwed, right? Like, I mean,
But those buyers are playing the hype cycle of thinking, hey, I'm going to make money because it's going up fast. Like,
and they didn't know any
go
better
up,
yet.
I'll make money kind of mentality.
But the whole thing with it, like, this is why we like emphasize do your own research type of stuff. Like, as much as we joke and meme and the whole like pump thing and like, only up and all this stuff, like we still try to emphasize like you do your own research, practice sound foundational trading principles and you'll be fine.
Exactly. I think that's a good note to wrap it up on. I think it was going to be a short episode and just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Tropo, I don't know if you have any topics you want to just wrap the show up on of your own.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the front beard on CryptoPunks. It's the goatee looking one. I don't like
goatee,
that.
not big beard, goatee.
But like with the
your
mustache, like
you're
the
not a
full,
fan of them.
not a fan, no.
As he's sitting just browsing Larva Labs.
He's just
I
been
have
sitting
been-
there this whole time high as shit looking at punks for the last 30 minutes.
And that's what came up.
I thought he was getting like
It's like window shopping for that, like
Get some wisdom,
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like Wells Fargo, and he was on the whole Wells Fargo story. Never actually finished
No.
it. I was hoping for
it's
the
like
ending.
window shopping for that, like, jet that you can't afford, but you're just like, one day I'll totally get like the Airbus A650. Like, yeah, totally.
Well, I'll admit I've never scrolled past like a couple scrolls on this list. I've never even like seen what's beyond 65 ETH. I don't know what's out there, and I've been looking.
Right.
Like,
Well, my thing is all I have to do is outperform CryptoPunks for long enough
Yeah.
that I can afford one, and then I'm fine.
And then
That's
you'll
a
spend
good point.
$2.8 million on a floor.
Yeah. Well, no, and then at that point it'll be like 10 mil for like a decent one, and then I'll be like, okay, this is something that I'm just gonna have for the rest of my life.
Right.
That'll be the day when it's like, when it's just dropping like an absurd, obscene amount of like dollar value on something, but it's like it's playing the game. It's not even dollars at that point. It's just
think, and we were talking about this. You think in ETH, you don't think in dollars. You think in ETH.
well, and even in ETH, like it's the I still like the more I play it like it's RuneScape gold, the easier it is to play the game.
Right. But also that in this case, the RuneScape gold actually is like my life
Really
savings.
expensive.
I like savings.
My life savings.
Yeah. Well, like my net worth is like entirely in this now. Like,
Yeah. If you ask me what my net worth is, I would reply in ETH.
yeah.
That's I would just look at my MetaMask and my calculations on my spreadsheet of what I own. I'd be like, yeah, this is my net worth.
Like I
Plus
was
$2,000 that's in my Wells Fargo account.
You definitely went a couple steps further than I did. I did not yet sell my car or remortgage my home, but at the same time, like
We had this discussion today. Like, so I have my old Porsche. It's 1986, a piece of crap. And then we were looking at my newer car that like I daily drive. It's reliable. It's not going to die on me. We looked at the resale value while we were in the car, and I was like, all right, maybe I should sell it. Like, it's up. Like the used car market's up. Like maybe I just take my ETH and like walk everywhere from now on. I'd take the 3 ETH or what? Not the 3 ETH. It was like what, 5.5 ETH.
When your old car doesn't stop in the morning.
At the same time, you were the one talking about buying a freaking Aston Martin the other day.
Oh, true. Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
He's like, oh yeah,
What? You were?
But I think that's I think
Talk about depreciating asset.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah, Christ.
Valkyrie. No,
the Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie. No, I think the Valkyrie is a 2x play. I think it follows the 918.
Yes, but the car's 900,000 to start with.
It's 900,000.
You can have 9 CryptoPunks. 8 CryptoPunks.
Yeah. What would you rather? 7, 8 CryptoPunks.
I'd rather have the CryptoPunks, but I'm just
Yeah, oh yeah.
you can drive your car, but you can't drive your punk.
Well,
You also drive something that costs $2,000 to $3,000 and still get the CryptoPunk.
I can already see it now. It's like Artifact Studios comes out with a crypto car.
You need gas to drive your CryptoPunk.
And it could be as badass as the Valkyrie, just not without the experience.
Guys, this is a great patent this idea right here. We got it. This is how we buy our punks. Crypto
With the card?
Yeah, the crypto car punks. It's just we work with Artifact Studios to make
just to create the car that you can plop your head into.
You plop your head into, yes. There's a company that will take your crypto punk and make custom shoes that are like the official shoe for your punk.
Are you kidding me?
They're 1 ETH each.
1 ETH.
1 ETH for the shoe.
Are you kidding?
Oh, have you showed? No, go pull up the space strip video and show him. They're
is it on their Twitter?
Yeah, it's on their Twitter.
I think it'd be cool if you took your CryptoPunk and got it stitched on your passenger seat so you can go through the HOV lane.
At that rate, you can afford the fine.
Like these are what the shoes look like. Like this is, I think these are alien shoes. So like this is the alien style. I gotta really scroll back for this, I think.
It's only a few days, but like the space strip one where you can see all the variety is wicked.
Let's see here. Oh, here, this one. Or open this up. So like these are all, I think these are all CryptoPunks. And I'm not sure if these are punks.
Is it the one where they're all laid out with
They're all laid out. They're all laid out.
At the end? No, it's the space strips.
Okay. So this is like another project that they did a collaboration with. And like based on the NFT, you can buy each of these shoes.
Just a mere
1 ETH.
1 ETH.
Yes.
They look like terrible rental bowling shoes.
Not great looking.
I highly disagree, but that's okay. You're allowed to have that opinion.
True. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Oh.
But at the same time, it's funny because if you roll up to like NFT NYC rocking a pair of Artifact Studio kicks, like everyone will know.
Everybody will know. It's the same if you show up to NFT NYC in a pair of UniSocks.
Oh yeah, dude, like people pleaser walking around like BTC Miami in like an oversized t-shirt with like a pair of UniSocks on. That's the most hardcore flex in the fucking world.
These socks are worth what are the socks worth right now? Like 80K?
I mean, at least. Like everyone's probably walking around with like their AP or their Rolex or like she's like just bumming like extra XXLT and a pair of UniSocks, and that's like
he's the richest person in the room, probably with the most expensive outfit on.
Yeah.
I think UniSocks is probably in the triple digits right now. Let me see here. UniSocks.
Like I just love that, just like the most low key insider flex that like if you don't know, you have no idea.
$1,000 for a pair of socks.
$150,000 for a pair of socks.
Are they washing? Like are they wash machine?
They are socks.
Yes. They're a physical piece of socks. Like this is what they look like. $158,000 to buy a pair right now.
What does that buy
you?
Socks.
The socks.
It buys you socks. It buys you a pair of socks.
What do you mean? You don't get like an asset? The socks
It's
are.
socks.
You get the socks. You get the socks.
So this sock costs this guy like $10 to make, and he's gonna sell it to you for $158,000.
I mean, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, but they're socks.
But they're really desirable socks. They're rare socks.
Wait, there's 302 pairs?
There's 302 pairs. There's only 14 remaining.
Wait.
And each time you buy one, the price increases. And then if you haven't claimed the sock, you can take the token that you bought. So we buy number 14, like with the 14 remaining, for 158K, and then we wait till there's like 4 left and the price is like 1 million, we can sell our claim token back to the exchange and pocket the $1 million. Because
So
it's
as long as they sell another pair, you're automatically gonna make money.
correct.
Yeah. As long as there is someone willing to buy the next pair.
Which I think is high actually.
Oh yeah, no, they'll sell.
Why-
They'll sell like
Here's
the,
the
like
question.
it,
Why wouldn't you buy,
eventually.
like, multiple pairs, and then you can just keep playing the game with yourself.
Yeah, there's people that did that.
Like buy for 158 and then
Or then sell your previous pair that was 158, now it's 200, and you made 50 grand spread, now it's
'Cause
200. Then
Well, but it's not liquid. So like once you
it's like a bonding
redeem it,
curve.
yeah, once you redeem it, you can't sell it. Like you'd have to sell it on eBay or something.
Right. If you redeem the socks physically, you can no longer sell back into the curve.
So it's not really a bonding curve.
It is
No,
a
it's a
bonding
price
curve.
ramp,
No,
not
it's
a
a
price
real, it's a real bonding curve. We're not opening this can of
No.
worms into the show.
It's not a bonding curve.
There's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to sell back in for it to be a bonding curve.
You can sell back in with UniSocks.
Well, with the tokens, you just
Yes.
can't. Yeah, once you
why does
redeem
them
it
sell out
physically.
all 300 too? What happens at that point?
I don't know. I don't think anybody thought that far, but like
I think it's on the website. I think if you actually go to the website, there's something about it.
I have to look. It's not here. On demand, learn more. Da 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 da. I don't see
It
it.
sounds so ridiculous to like
It's
an
ridiculous.
outsider.
But no, there are people that have recently bought.
This sounds like a money laundering scheme.
No, but this was so
Where
this
the
was
socks, like,
the project,
across, like,
but this was like the project that proved out this pricing model.
Right. It's a model for how to price it.
It's a
Sounds like a
conceptual
money
it's a conceptual experiment that has been memed to play out.
Yes. Yes. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Well, guys, it's late here on the East Coast. I think that's a good place to cut this off at.
You've been saying that for like the last 4 projects. Go to bed.
I know. But next week we'll have a little different show. We're gonna have 2 other guests. So if you 2 want to join us back in, be 2 cool guests.
Thanks for dapping me in.
Yeah, no problem. Good to see you, Tropo. Good to hear you. Hope you're doing well there. Sounds like you're vibing out.
He's gonna
Love
be
it,
zoomed
punks.
into Larva Labs for the next 3 hours.
But
Starting
yeah,
to like
guys,
the women. Starting to like the women punks.
there you go. That's all it took. It just took a little bit of THC and time, and
Couple hours, yeah.
he likes the women. He likes the femmes. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining, and we'll see everybody next Friday. Peace.
Later, y'all.